Today I'm going to show you my new lathe. It's a Turncrafter Commander from Penn State Industries. It is the 12-inch variable speed. I had previously been using for many years a jet mini lathe, and I was looking at this lathe and another lathe in particular to see about replacing it, because the jet mini lathe, though it was a wonderful lathe and is very solidly built, at the time did not have an indexing feature, nor did it have variable speed, and I wanted an extension bed too. So after looking at how much it would cost to upgrade, I actually would have been money ahead to have bought the Turncrafter lathe. I haven't seen too many videos about this lathe, so I'd like for us to look at it in detail. If you're considering purchasing one, this might help you a little bit. This is a very solidly constructed lathe. However, it did come in several pieces, and with the extension bed, which if you would buy with the lathe, you actually save, I think it's around $50, so I went ahead and bought that. It comes in several pieces. The bed is a nice cast iron bed. The motor head is what comes separately, and you can see it here. It has 4 bolts here and in the back, and you also will have to attach the rear door and door latch with it. It also comes with this knockout bar here, and of course you've got digital speed readings here. The actual lathe itself has a 2-pulley system, 1 belt but 2 pulleys. I don't know how well you can see it, but it has a high and a low speed, whereas most lathes like the old jet multi-speed had 1 belt but several pulleys. So up here you have your spindle lock that you turn and unlock to unlock your spindle if you're doing like a router fluting. It comes with this spur center, and here you can see the indexing points for the spindle lock. Here's the variable speed indicator, which I'll show you in a minute. It comes with, of course, the tailstock, and you also get this 60-degree cone center, which I already had one, but it's nice to have 2. You get 2 tool rests. This is the 12-inch. You also get a 6-inch with it. And you also get, which I've already begun to load down with some of my accessories, you also get this nice little tool rest holder here that you can put some of your tools in, just whatever you might want. And again, you get the 60-degree cone with it, and the rest of it's mine. And of course down here is your variable speed indicator, high and low, on and off switch. When you assemble it, the first thing you'll do is assemble. There's a wiring piece of wiring in here that you'll assemble, and if you can kind of see, it kind of fishes out from under the back, and it goes. There's 3 connectors here in the bottom rear that you will connect. Very easy. The whole thing, getting out of the box, probably took about 45 minutes or so to set up. The main reason I chose this lathe over other brands is for the added bells and whistles. One thing that may not be really necessary, but I kind of liked, is this gooseneck light, which I don't even have it on. I have my other shop light on right now, but it's a 40-watt bulb, does real nicely, and just to see what's going on in your work. The main thing is, of course, is the digital speed. The speeds go from 500 RPMs more or less to about 1800 more or less, and the second belt system, I believe it is 1000 to about 3800. And let's see what else here. It's a DC motor, and here is, of course, as with any lathe, your motor pull that you tighten your belts with, and this is a lock to lock it down with. I wanted to show you this before I got it all messed up. So this is brand new out of the box, just as if you would buy it yourself and receive it from Penn State Industries. Of note, this is a 1x8 TPI threading headstock, and of course you get the spur center in it, but you can also you can put in your favorite Morse taper number 2 mount, chucks, or whatever you might have, and you can buy optional accessories. This is the steady rest that Penn State sells, and of course there's their Barracuda chuck and flat jaws. Oh, you also get, I didn't unwrap it, but you also get a nice faceplate to go on it as well. So let's turn on the digital speed and you can see what it does. Okay, simply turning the switch on, the digital speed indicator lights up, and it's pretty much preset for around 500 RPMs. I like the nice blue backlit display, and that's just kind of a really added bonus. You don't have to like really squint to see it. So it'll get to about 550, 560, and then of course all you need to do is take your digital speed indicator, turn it up a little bit, and here we go. You can hear it kind of rev up a little bit. Here's 600. Oh, you can see it. By the way, I have inside, mounted as a micro chuck, which I'm going to do a review on it later. I've never really used it before, but going to. Hopefully it won't spin out of here. Looks to be okay. I feel like Mr. Scott on Star Trek revving up the warp engines. Alright, so there we are. We're tapping out at around 1815, 1814, and that is the maximum speed for the first setting. And we're going to bring it back down here. Really, for turning pins, about 1,000 RPMs is what I like to use. Some people like to use 800. So here we'll turn it back down, and it should wind itself back down to about 500 here in a minute. Another feature that I didn't really go into detail is the spindle lock. And as you can see right now, this is in the unlock position. And we use the spindle lock to lock the spindle, especially when we're, another reason, not only just to use it for making like router flutes in it, but we also use the spindle lock for putting our tool in here to, let's say we have a 4-jaw chuck that has a screw mount, which I can't do this with both hands. Hold the camera with one hand. But once we get the chuck in there, then we'll need to lock it down, and we'll put the breaker bar in the hole to secure the chuck. To lock the spindle down, you pull up and you turn up, turn it clockwise until it locks in place, and then you cannot move the spindle. And of course you would never want to start the lathe with it in this position, so you go ahead and you unlock it. If you're looking to purchase a lathe, maybe for the first time, there are a few things that you need to know. Of course, one thing is a pair of safety glasses you always need to wear, because the headstock, which is this piece here, will always be turning this way. If you're looking at it, that would be counterclockwise towards you, and potentially things can fly off, and you don't want to, of course, hit you in the eyes, and some people even prefer a face shield. Another thing is to, when you're turning anything or the machine is operating, make sure that all your tools are locked down. These are the lock bars for the tool rest, which moves side to side, and you push this down so this will not move left to right. Same way with the tailstock. This bar will also lock down. This locks down here. One nice thing about the tailstock is you can remove the cone center, and I'm basically just unscrewing it here. This probably needs to be a bit oiled, but anyway, since it's brand new and never been used, I'll forgive that. And you can put in what's called a Jacob's chuck, which is a drill chuck. This is sold separately, and you can mount Forster bits or drill bits in, and you can use this action to push a drill bit into a spinning work on the headstock, make a boring a hole. Take that out. Put this back in. One thing, whenever you're buying a lathe, you want to make sure, if you get a chance to look at it in a showroom, is this right here. Move the tool rest back some more. it down, that the tail and headstock meet up in the center, or at least very, 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 very close. This is important to keep your work on center. And of course, you always want to make sure that there are no broken pieces as well. Also to note, with the tool, you actually get several hand tools to put it together. You get this nice set of little Allen wrenches, and I don't have it bolted down to my bench yet, but I'm going to. I just have it screwed into place just to mark it in position when I get some bolts for it. On the back side is where your extension bed hooks on. You have two bolt hooks there, and when you want to move the lathe around, you have this nice pull handle on both ends. That's really nice. And you know, overall, this is a pretty good lathe. I've used the Friends already, so I already know what the thing's capable of. This is the 12-inch Turncrafter Commander, meaning 12 inches, meaning you can have the ability to turn a 12-inch object like a bowl or so forth. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be pleased with it. I haven't turned anything on it yet, but I wanted to show this to you all before I do, so in case you might be considering buying one, maybe this review has been somewhat helpful to you. I hope you've enjoyed it, and remember, have the Master Carpenter, Jesus Christ, in your shop, and things will go much better than they could without him.